Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're delving into some uncomfortable territory. We're exploring the 7 indicators that your relationship may have reached its sunset. It's a hard pill to swallow, acknowledging that a once vibrant and loving relationship may now be but a flicker. However, recognizing these signs can be the first step towards healing and moving forward. So buckle up as we venture into this journey of discovery and understanding together. First off, the most prominent sign: communication or lack thereof. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. It's the channel through which love, understanding, and respect flow. When this conduit begins to dry up, it could very well signal the end of the relationship. Imagine a couple, let's call them Jane and John. They used to share everything: their little triumphs at work, the funny anecdotes from their day, their dreams, their fears. But gradually they stopped. The conversations became more about what's for dinner or whose turn it is to do the dishes. They stopped talking about their feelings, their plans for the future, their hopes, their dreams. They stopped sharing their day, their thoughts, their lives. And in doing so, they stopped sharing themselves. This is the communication gap. And when this gap widens, the relationship starts to crumble. When words start to fade, so does the relationship. Next up, the vanishing act of intimacy. Intimacy is not solely about physical contact. It's a symphony of emotional closeness, shared experiences, and mutual vulnerability. It's the silent language of love, the unspoken dialogue of hearts. Imagine a couple, let's call them Jane and John. They used to share everything from quiet smiles over morning coffee to whispers of sweet nothings in the dead of night. They reveled in their shared silence, a comfortable quietude that was their secret language, but now that language has fallen silent. The warmth that once filled their moments has been replaced by a cold void. Their smiles seem forced, their conversations mechanical. The little things that used to mean so much don't mean anything anymore. This, dear friends, is the disappearance of intimacy. A lack of intimacy can make a relationship feel hollow. It's like a song missing its melody, a poem lacking its rhythm. Moving on to indicators 3 and 4, the growing distance and the constant criticism. It's not uncommon for couples to experience periods of emotional detachment. However, when this detachment grows over time, it can be an alarming sign of a dying relationship. Consider the story of a couple who once shared everything from dreams to daily trivia, but now find themselves locked in a world of silence, focusing more on each other's flaws and less on their strengths. This brings us to our 4th indicator: constant criticism. Constructive criticism is healthy and can help us grow, but when it becomes a daily routine, it can lead to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. Imagine being with someone who constantly points out your shortcomings rather than appreciating your qualities. This constant negativity can erode the bond of love and trust. So remember, when criticism overpowers compassion, it's a clear sign. Finally, our last 3 indicators: the absence of future plans, the frequent fights, and the feeling of relief when apart. Let's imagine a couple, Jane and John. They used to dream together, planning romantic getaways, discussing career moves, and even talking about having children. However, they've stopped. The future has become a vague concept rather than a shared journey. It's not just about the silence around future plans. Jane and John are arguing more, not the usual disagreements that come from being 2 distinct individuals, but petty squabbles that seem to spring from nowhere. The frequency of these fights has increased, and they are often about the smallest things: a forgotten grocery item, a missed call, or even a misplaced remote control. These fights aren't about the issue at hand. They're a manifestation of deeper problems, of frustration and discontent. Now let's talk about perhaps the most telling sign: relief when apart. Jane and John have started cherishing their time alone more than their time together. The once dreaded business trips or late work nights have become a welcome respite. The absence of the other has become a relief, a break from the constant tension and fights. When love becomes a battlefield and solitude brings relief, it's time to reassess. It's time to face the truth and decide whether this relationship still brings happiness, or has it turned into a source of constant stress and disappointment. Now that we've traversed this difficult path, it's important to remember, endings aren't always bad. As we conclude this journey, it's vital to stress that the termination of a relationship doesn't necessarily signify failure. Rather, it's an opportunity for personal development and self-discovery. It's a chance to reflect, to learn, and to grow stronger. When we acknowledge a relationship's end, we open a door to a potentially brighter future. We grant ourselves permission to seek out relationships that nurture our hearts, that respect our worth, and that truly make us happy. We can use the indicators we've discussed as a compass, guiding us away from unsatisfying relationships and leading us towards more fulfilling ones. Recognizing these signs isn't a defeat, but a victory. It's the first step towards a healthier, happier love life. So embrace the end, for it's merely a new beginning in disguise. Remember, the end of one story can be the start of another. Subscribe to Relationship Avenue channel for more insightful content.